And we welcome you who've not logged in, and we thank God for your company with us for this midnight vigil. And we invite you to just be yourself, to come as you are. And if you're wounded, broken, anxious, fearful or afraid, be still and all will be well. For those who've logged in and don't know who this strange man is in fancy dress, my name is Brother Sean, and I'm a member of the Teo community of Interfaith Franciscans, a cyber community that meet online every day, where we receive spiritual nurturing, mentoring and support. So let us now just sense the peace of God. And as you relax, I would like to leave with you a beautiful quote from a great spiritual teacher, Gandhi. And this is what Gandhi, our brother, says: to find yourself, you first must lose yourself in the service of others. Allow me to repeat that again. To find yourself, the real person you are, not the person you would like to be or the person you imagine to be, but the person you are, the person that God made in their image and likeness. You must first lose yourself in the service of others. I take that to mean several things. For me, on one level, it means to try and not become too preoccupied with me, to try and self-empty, to try and put others first, especially the wounded and the marginalized, to try and see the spirit of the divine in them, even though they may annoy us, frustrate us, or test our mettle. But we must lose ourselves in the service of love. So let us be still. Let us be still in the presence of God. And I'm going to play Shiana Knoll singing Deep Peace. And as I play this, I would like to light our candle for peace in the world. And sometimes we need gentle reminders, don't we, of how other people are suffering. So let us light our candle for global peace and interspiritual unity, but especially for our brothers and sisters of different faiths who are being tortured. Let us be still.
Peace of the
What a beautiful, beautiful song. And the words, they're so beautiful, aren't they? Deep peace of the pure earth to you. As we gather around this table of love, we come as we are, as a child of God. We come without pretext. We come in our brokenness, in our confusion, in our anxieties and tensions. And we come to this magical table. It is a mystical table where we are invited by the Christ to surrender. To surrender all that weighs us down. And to take back our power from those who have controlled us. Let us read to you the prayer again in the interior castle, the entry prayer, and let us take it from there. I cross the bridge into the silent bliss of my castle. I close the drawbridge and forbid all outside influences from entry into this holy place, my soul. Here in my castle, I am alone with God. Under God's light and companionship, I discover the depth and the beauty of my soul. Here in my castle, I am alone with God. Under God's light and companionship, I discover the depth and beauty of my soul. I embrace the power of prayer. I open myself to divine guidance. I surrender myself to become as a channel for grace, for healing, and service as God directs my life. I surrender myself to become as a channel of grace, for healing and service as God directs my life. In that beautiful prayer Teresa of Avila gives to us, she's using her own personal journey and her own personal experiences of how to reawaken our I am presence within us to the divine presence, the mystical heart of God. She's inviting us to surrender our heart to love. She's inviting us to try and take a leap of faith. Though our friends, our church, our elders, society, our brain, our mind, our ego may convince us that to do such a thing is total anathema, total chaos. But it worked for Francis of Assisi, and it worked for St. Clare, and between the two of them God had two mighty companions in the 12th century when his church became so preoccupied with self, the adornment of self, feeding the ego, and leaving God and the children of God out to dry. And it would seem over the last decade, where so many scandals have been revealed, not just in the Catholic Church and in the Christian Church, but in different faith groups, where man's inhumanity to the children of God has come to the surface. And in this decadent generation, where it is commonplace to see every day someone being murdered, an old person being attacked by injecting drug users, by the homeless being attacked, by church people being found out like ministers, senators. The sins of our fathers we have certainly inherited, but we do not have to engage with them. We can name those sins. We can bless them and release them. We can break the chain, that dreadful chain that seems to replicate itself in our DNA, our body's DNA, but not in the soul's DNA. The soul's DNA was impregnated with divine love before we were born, when we were a being of light. But sadly today, so many become weary or complacent, and it's so easy for one in divine service, like a rabbi, a minister, an imam, a monk, a nun, or a brother, to become complacent. And as soon as we become complacent, by cutting back on our ritual of prayer and discipline, or putting things off till tomorrow, we somehow begin a journey, a slippery slope journey, where the heart becomes closed to the voice of God. So the prayer that Teresa gives us about entering our castle, it's quite clear that the Spirit of God invites us to switch off our mobile phone, to put away our iPad, to disconnect from the computer, to put a sign on our door, I'm not at home. Well, I am at home, but I'm not at home to chit-chat. And that way we're giving out a positive message to the world, that we are honoring our sacred contract. And you know, it's so funny really when you think about it. A lot of people presume, rather unkindly, that it's only monks and nuns who are called to prayer and to meditate. Untrue. It is my belief that from the moment we are born, from the moment the breath of God is breathed into our soul, and our soul's DNA is activated in this incarnation, we are, in effect, all monks and nuns. For we were created in the image and likeness of God. And we were created to sing the praises of God through living a fun lived life, to use the talents and the gifts that the Supreme gave to us, whether it's making the best pot of tea in Dunedin, or the best marshmallow cookies in Philadelphia, or the best fish and chips and mushy peas in Blackpool. You and I have been given a talent, a skill. And when we develop that skill for the glory of God and share that skill, as Gandhi said, to find yourself, you must first lose yourself in service of others. That really resonates very much with my heart as a Franciscan called to embrace all faiths. Though other faiths may not be wanting or willing to meet with me dressed in what appears to be a Catholic habit, it's not a Catholic habit. It's a uniform given by Magdalena. The colours are from Magdalena, whose feast we celebrate today. Well, on Monday. But the colours that I'm wearing, denim, is to boost the immune system with the sun's rays hitting the indigo blue denim. It boosts the immune system, but it does something more profound. Despite the hot weather, where we're almost like a mobile sauna, it protects us from entity attack, together with the little symbol that we wear around our neck, the Teo symbol. So when we come into the presence of God, in our uniform, there is a change of heart. The moment I put on my habit, there is a change. It's not a change I deliberately make, but I'm aware that suddenly my attitude and values change. I take what I do, like this, going live with no script. I'm trusting in my boss, the Christ. I'm trusting in Him to speak through my heart to your heart. And hopefully the words that you hear, you will know they're not from a book, but they're from a journey that has experienced the highs and the lows, and where one has fallen down so many times as I have. Let us come to this beautiful table of God. Let there be no fear in our heart, for God is a God of love. Sadly, many of His representatives have not conveyed that God of love, and they've confused the children of God by what would appear to be double standards. But thankfully, with the Tibetan Buddhists, we have a great man, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And the Catholic Christians, thank God, have an exceptional man of God, Pope Francis. For he took the name Francis under divine guidance, and now you can see the pattern. What Francis was doing in the 12th century. He was rebuilding the Church of God through his ministry and service to others. He found himself, and in finding himself, it was in supporting the lepers, feeding the hungry, and he didn't profess to be a priest, for he was not a priest, he was a brother. Like Mother Teresa of Calcutta, there are times in church history where the church takes a dip, where religion takes a dip, and the Antichrist seems to be in control. And then a person appears like Gandhi, Sri Chimoy, Martin Luther King, what a great man, Hildegard, Julian of Norwich. There are so many great men and women. But in this generation, we have His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Pope Francis. But they need your love and mine. They need your support and mine, for they will come under attack. Let us come, let us be still, and let us ask our brother Jesus, in the presence of all the great masters, Paramahanda Yogananda, another great man, Mia Baba, the Lord Buddha, Vishnu, Ganesh, Krishna. Let us ask them to show us what are the talents that God has given us, where we can lose ourselves in the service of others, not in rescuing others, but in the service. In other words, of putting the child of God first, where we embrace the divine in that person, however ugly they may look, however obnoxious they may be to us, however ill they may be or disfigured. They are a child of God. As we sit at this table, let us feel the love of each other. For God is using a small little group like us to reach out to all faiths and none. Whether they choose to work with us is their issue, but God's will for us is to be here, to sit at this table, and it is our love for one another that becomes the prayer for peace, that becomes the prayer for unity, our togetherness, our solidarity. Let us allow the Christ to touch us now. I sense He's placing His hand on our heart, and He's asking me to ask you to place your hands over His hand, to ensure that you do not compromise who you are, however challenged we might be, never to compromise our divinity. And those inner voices that cause disquiet, name them, shame them, bless them, release them, release them, release them. Into your arms, O Christ, I release all that weighs me down, all that weighs mankind down, and thank you for your nurturing, healing love. Thank you, Christ. Thank you, our beloved brother. Be still, my dear friends, and receive the powerful love of the Christ. come as followers of the Christ Magdalene, and we celebrate her feast day by holding each other in love. So let us celebrate the presence of the Christ here with us now. Into your heart, I come to your glow. I ask God, I am here for you. We praise you, O God. We praise you, O God. We praise you, O God. We praise you. You are the God of all. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender to your love. I surrender. We surrender. We praise you, O God. And as we come to a close, having surrendered our heart to the Christ, let us now receive the abundant blessing of God's peace in our life. And let us be still and embrace all that we are as a beloved of God. Namaste. Shalom. Inshallah. Pax et bonum. Om Shanti. Solo di caritas. Salcum laicum. Peace. And thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for being here. Go in peace now.